You know, after 13 sequels, you really start to wonder when that asteroid's gonna show up. The Land Before Time. Directed by Don Bluth, produced by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Released in 1988, The Land Before Time is the only film outside of the Indiana Jones franchise to be co-produced by these two legendary filmmakers. It was also the highest-grossing animated film of all time until The Little Mermaid was released a year later in 1989. During the production of An American Tail, Bluth was in talks for his next animated feature. Steven Spielberg wanted a film similar to Bambi, but with dinosaurs. Over 600 backgrounds were hand-painted for the project, and the film's theme song, If We Hold On Together, sung by Diana Ross, became a huge hit in Japan. When food gets scarce, all of the herds start to head for greener pastures, and we meet Littlefoot, voiced by Gabriel Damon, who is traveling with his mother, and since it's a kids movie from the 80s, that means she's pretty much cannon fodder. Spoiler alert, by the way. Littlefoot meets a stubborn triceratops, originally a male named Bambo, but George Lucas thought it would be more interesting if the character was a girl instead. And I gotta say, when I hear the name Bambo, I can't help but picture a roided up version of Bambi, getting revenge on a group of hunters like the forest scene out of First Blood. So I think the change was for the best. Our hero's Littlefoot starts getting dino-sore from all the walking they're doing. Just then, Sharptooth shows up and decides he's in the mood for a kid's meal. Now as a kid, I always wanted more of Sharptooth because before Jurassic Park, The Land Before Time was the best dinosaur movie around. Originally, we would have gotten more Sharptooth, but after the initial screening, 10 minutes were cut from the film, as it was deemed too dark and intense for young children. Spielberg, who just suffered severe parental backlash for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, told Bluth, "It's too scary. We'll have kids crying in the lobby and a lot of angry parents. You don't want that." A little backstory on our boy Don Bluth. He got his start as an apprentice at Disney working on Sleeping Beauty. But over the years, he became dissatisfied with the treatment of the employees at the company. So he set out on his own and temporarily took the place of his former master as the name in quality animated films. And to add insult to injury, not only did his movies outperform the concurrent Disney features at the time, his first two films, The Secret of Nim and An American Tail, featured mice as the main characters. So ironically, Disney was outdone by a mouse twice. But much like a Sith Lord, Disney could not let their former apprentice rise to power and began countering his efforts, re-releasing one of their classics every time Bluth had a new film in theaters. Back to the movie. So Sharptooth puts the bite on Littlefoot's mom, who tries to fight him off, but he just won't get off her back about it. And sadly, she dies defending Littlefoot and Sarah. That's what you get for sticking your neck out for people, I guess. Tragic as it is for Littlefoot, on the plus side, it does give him the perfect traumatic life event necessary to become a prehistoric superhero one day. So when life gives you lemons, right? Suddenly there's a whole lot of shaking going on, and our dino babies get separated from their families and have to make the long journey to the Great Valley on their own. Along the way, we meet Ducky, Petrie, and Spike. And after some cuddly cuteness and a scare from Sharptooth, Sarah and the others leave Littlefoot for a path that she thinks is better. After a brief visit to Mustafar, the little munchkins get into a sticky situation with some tar pits before Littlefoot comes to the rescue. Now when you're a kid, it kinda washes over you that Littlefoot hatches a plan to drown Sharptooth using his friend as live bait. But then, he is avenging the death of his mother, and I can respect that. Turns out the old turd Sharptooth isn't a floater, and our adorable group of little killers finally make it to the Great Valley and live happily ever after. The most remarkable thing about this film is hidden inside the simplicity of its story are layers of metaphor and symbolism with deeper meaning. The Great Valley, a beautiful place Littlefoot has never seen, but must believe is real, can be seen as a picture of heaven. And if you follow the right path, even though it is laden with pain and hardship, eventually you will reunite with your loved ones. But if you stray from the path that is set before you, it only leads to destruction in the end. And ironically, in a children's film from the 1980s, they worked life lessons and a message into their story with more art and subtlety than most modern films. And they didn't even have to go on a side quest to a casino planet and beat you over the head with stilted dialogue to get their point across. In the end, The Land Before Time is an emotional journey through life itself, dealing with loss, grief, holding on to your beliefs, and even broaching the subject of prejudice in a way that is accessible with children without watering it down. So for its breathtaking design, heartwarming story, emotional film score by James Horner, important themes, and beautiful hand-drawn animation, I give this film 5 out of 5 Death Stars. The Land Before Time is impressive. Most impressive. As the medium of animation continued to evolve, much like the dinosaurs, sadly the art of hand-drawn animation is all but extinct. Tune in next week as we discuss the event that was responsible for this, a story about toys. This has been Vader Reviews. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, and follow me on Twitter @VaderReviews. Join the Empire today. You do not yet realize your importance. Share these videos, and together we will rule the internet. And always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.